Following on from a positive 2016, Basketball Australia is striving to build on what can be described as a successful and landmark year. Australia saw success in the Rio Olympics, where all of our competing teams in both the Olympics and Paralympics made at least the quarterfinals. Whilst Australia unfortunately did not finish with a medal in either of these games, the overall result signifies our greatest achievement in the games thus far. Australia's performances internationally also saw us top the top 5 in the FIBA World Rankings. Overseas, 8 players represented Australia within the NBA in the 2016 and 17 season, including this year's number 1 draft pick Ben Simmons and former number 1 draft pick Andrew Bogut. In the WNBA, we had 5 women contracted to different teams throughout that league. Domestically, the 2016 and 17 NBL season saw the Perth Wildcats victorious, whilst Sydney University Flames were victorious in the WNBL season. In the High Performance Department, 2016 and 17 saw the appointment of Peter Lonigan as new Head of Performance Coach Development. Last year also showcased the prowess of Australia's development and pathways programs to the world, with triumphs in international pathways competitions and increasing Australian representation within premier basketball development programs, including the NCAA, the recognised pathway to the NBA. Outside of performances, 2016 and 17 saw the improvement of financial and coaching support for the governing bodies of states and territories in order to enable a pathway to be clearly defined for both coaching staff and athletes, visualising a clear path from youth to elite performance. Last year also saw the increase of knowledge and resource sharing throughout Australian basketball. Basketball Australia conducted 41 coaching development workshops to local associations across Australia, striving to bridge the gap between state and national high performance. As the 2017 and 18 season commences, the following objectives have been put in place to secure Australia's rise in international basketball. Firstly, Basketball Australia must provide the appropriate resources and tools to the athletes and support staff of the Boomers, Opals, Rollers and Gliders needed to consistently achieve success on the international stage. The development of an in-depth and appropriately structured athlete development plan that paves a performance pathway for both athletes and coaches through to the professional level, to establish a high-performance culture that allows the long-term growth and development of Australia's best athletes both now and for the future. The development of high-performance coaches to deliver effective support to the needs of the athletes to ensure consistent and optimal performance outcomes, manage injury and improve return to play time. Basketball Australia high performance to achieve its desired outcomes, a number of strategic measures have been put in place to ensure immediate and future growth and success. The development of the high performance pathway is a key influencer in ensuring the future success for Australian basketball, providing support and exposure needed to develop the best athletes in Australia. The transformation of high performance culture within Australian basketball will create the professionalism needed to strive for success. By providing athletes with the best sources available, both physically and psychologically, we can ensure athletes are always on top of their game for competition. And an assurance that the high performance values and actions put in place by Basketball Australia are practiced nationally with the deliverance of educational and coaching development sessions made available to any and all Australian basketball support staff, as well as improved funding to allow state organisations to possess equipment needed for effective monitoring and development of state-level athletes. In the high-performance pathway, a well-defined passageway is enabled so athletes are able to witness transition from talent identification and initial development phases to professional level of competition. By doing so, young athletes are able to realise their aspirations to compete at a professional level are possible if consistent effort is placed on self-development and improvement of work ethic. Further aspects of the high performance pathway include consistent interaction with professional level athletes, allowing youth athletes to recognise professional standards, mannerisms and behaviour that are represented by professional national athletes that are needed to succeed. For any pathway or system to be effective, a culture of professionalism and determination must be present to ensure overall adherence and effectiveness. By creating a professional environment for athletes to train and develop, the actions of both the athletes and support staff as they interact will result in a high performance culture that positively influences those around. By showing that athletes are being looked after to a professional standard, should influence athletes to thus behave and act in a manner best suited to the team standard. Basketball Australia has an objective to improve high performance delivery nationwide. Therefore, its outreach to state and territory organisations must be effective. The providence of high performance best practice techniques, such as structure and available resources, ensures that the high performance model is followed nationwide, resulting in less variance and greater talent acquisition rates from an improved and more effective talent pool. Reinforcement of high performance best practice through educational seminars and practical workshops allow coaches to apply methods and techniques taught to state level athletes, further improving high performance practice nationwide. In order to monitor the effectiveness of the high performance objectives set, the Basketball Australia High Performance Committee will meet every 6 months to determine the effectiveness of the strategies put in place and any interventions that are needed. An annual progress report will also be made available using training and performance data, participation and development rates, and satisfaction survey data to determine best outcomes. The evaluation of objectives set by Basketball Australia High Performance can be performed both quantitatively and qualitatively. Objectively, success can be seen through competitive achievements and FIBA rankings, whilst qualitative success can be seen through the data from surveys of athletes and support staff of Basketball Australia and corresponding state and territory organisations.